For my digital literacy narrative, I decided to do a Draw My Life. So my life begins in Durham, North Carolina, where I was born, but I quickly moved to Washington, D.C. as soon as I was born. But my parents are from Iran. So English wasn't my parents' first language. My mom and my dad, they spoke Farsi. But to teach me English, they read to me and showed me flashcards. My favorite book was Sam I Am, or Green Eggs and Ham, as more people know. My parents actually would not let me speak English in the house. They were really, really adamant about me speaking Farsi all the time. So it was my first day of school and I was really excited. I was sitting in class and I remember the teacher talking and I just didn't understand a thing that she said. She asked if we had any questions and I had a ton. All the other kids knew what they were doing. They could read, write, figure things out, but I just didn't know the language. I guess my teacher saw I was struggling all day long. So she pulled me aside and asked me, what was wrong, but I had no idea what she was saying. She had a meeting with my mom and my dad and explained to them that I actually didn't speak any English. My parents were confused. What about the flashcards and the books? And she said that I couldn't be in school if I couldn't read, which I couldn't. After that, my parents were determined to make sure I got a better education and could speak English. I went to private school, and on my first day I walked in and I had absolutely no idea what anybody was saying. I cried for my grandma the whole entire time. Then I met my ESL tutor, Miss Mojde. She basically taught me how to speak English, and I literally owe my entire life to her today. So then I go back for my first day of first grade. I was 5 years old, the youngest one in the class. My parents were really nervous, but this time, everything ended up making sense. For the first time in my entire American life, English finally made sense to me. I was finally getting things right and on the right track. For the first time in my whole life as well, I could read my favorite book, Green Eggs and Ham, and actually understand what it means. My parents, who ultimately failed to teach me English in an effort to make me bilingual, were so proud of me and so happy that I could finally read. My mom and my dad were my biggest supporters in this entire thing, and were just so happy that I could finally read, I could finally write, and I was finally able to speak English after living in America for years. And after that, the rest was history.